This is a trade period that's going to get a lot of St Kilda people pretty excited, I reckon.
From the old king to the new king.
The AFL has moved to immediately suspend the 2020 Toyota AFL Premiership season.
This does become a battle for survival. It becomes a battle for how we keep the doors open in this place.
24 hours is, emotional roller coaster, isn't it? The first half of yesterday, we played some fantastic footy, and then we lost our way, and we couldn't recover, and then we end up losing the game, and then we get this decision here. What I do know is, when we do get back and play, our good is very good. So we've got to do the work. We've got to get ourselves in a spot where we can get back out in the field and do what we want to do, because if we can put that together again, that 2.5 quarters, we're going to be hard to beat.
Obviously the result was the most disappointing thing. So we were in a really good spot to win the game and should have won quite comfortably, but shot ourselves in the foot. So you're going through that, the disappointment of that, and then obviously being no crowd, so it was a strange setup, and then getting told that we're going to be in lockdown for a while was just, I think the fact that we lost made that even worse. If we had won that game, it might have been not as bad, I suppose. We did such a long pre-season, and just to play that one little game and not go our way and then have a big break again was really frustrating.
Look after yourselves, all right? We're going to be apart, but we're always a message away or a phone call away, all right? We'll get through this and we'll come out the other side, but it'll just be how important you guys are in your own preparation and what you're trying to do to get yourself back to playing when we do start, all right? Please don't think you can't talk to anybody. Let's make sure through the hard times we galvanise and become closer.
Sort of had a heads up as the game commenced that there was an announcement that afternoon, so I think deep down I knew what the announcement was going to be. Having then seen Gil in action, obviously a close friend of mine, to see the weight I could tell he was carrying on behalf of the industry for when that industry shuts down, when revenue gets turned off and cost continues, it's not a good scenario. So I guess I understood the gravity of it. And to go back and have a conversation with the staff, it was quite an emotional conversation behind closed doors. And, the reality is that not all those people are going to be coming back to the club to work, whether it's this year or next year or both.
The team uniform and facilities might have changed, but these Saints feel right at home.
I call this the second St Kilda just because we've got, coaches, staff, physios, everyone down here.
At this Australia Post warehouse, they're hard at work.
Me and my partner were sitting down and we were pretty stressed at home, working things out. Got the email and I got pretty excited, to be honest, because when I rang up, I said I'll work anytime, anywhere.
It just doesn't work out to have your income stopped. It doesn't work out for anyone. To see professional footballers sorting mail through a contact of the club was pretty stark. It certainly hit home.
Well, I haven't played since about round 8 last year, so it was obviously pretty hard. And then to come out this year and haven't played a game yet, so it's been difficult. But every AFL player wants to play footy, so I just want to be back out there playing. I didn't really expect anything like that to happen, so I never seen it coming. And then obviously with the pay cut and all that sort of stuff, it was pretty scary at the time. There's obviously a lot of people out there that are doing far worse than us, but at the end of the day, we've all got mortgages as well. So I'm sort of lucky that I've got a mate who works for himself, and I'm doing my Cert 3 in carpentry. So luckily he's taken me under his wing, and I've been able to do a bit of work with him. That on camera. We've done about a quarter of it and we've cracked in there, so we'll get into our strides and then some 400, so looking forward to it.
How are the legs?
Legs are heavy actually. They're not normally up this hour of the morning, so they're a little bit heavy. I've been getting up pretty early in the mornings. We start at 7 So yeah, I'm up about 5:30 running and training. So it's pretty much been pitch black dark. So that's been a little bit hard. And then going to work for a full day has been pretty solid. But yeah, the things like you don't really think about that as a footballer. Organising your lunch the night before and getting tools and stuff ready. So it's been very different.
Done the session now, so I'm going to do a bit of goal kicking. It doesn't happen very often, so we'll see how we go. And then kick the goal.
Morning, Saints fans. Joining me here on Facebook Live on a Sunday morning when I'm sure we were all hoping to wake up and get along and see the Saints take on the Tigers this afternoon at Marvel in the annual Maddies match. But that's the times we find ourselves in, isn't it? I hope you're all doing well. I hope your families are doing well and that you're all taking care of one another. I imagine listening to the CEO ask a whole lot of questions, is not as interesting as being able to watch our players, do the amazing things they do. But that's just part of it. It's the new temporary normal that we're all finding ourselves in, and coming in here and getting online and talking to our members is the least I can be doing, because any way people can connect is critical right now.
Here we got Ross, Membry, Robert and Billings and Gears. Just waiting for Ruffy, I reckon, and Hilly.
It doesn't look that red now, but in real life it's pretty red, so it's going to be pretty gross when we get back. Yours is looking pretty good, Rafi.
Walter White is enjoying his little beard situation, aren't you, Rafi?
Been a bit of transfer from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
But maybe the gravity work, mate.
Within a few hours, it was like, wow, we've got a crisis here that we need to protect our people and make sure everyone's right. So I think the first week was more about making sure our people were safe, are they where they want to be, and footy was sort of secondary. Then it sort of clicked in to say, okay, everybody's in where they want to be. Now we need to start to get some training into these fellas and get going.
So we've just been doing Monday, Friday, we've just been bookending the week. We've been doing a run in the morning and then go and have a bite to eat and then do lower body gym and then finish with upper. So it's a pretty solid morning for him. And he's just been doing some injury prevention stuff in the middle, so we'll do some weights at home and some upper body circuits during the week to keep his conditioning up. We haven't really been building as quickly as what we would have if it had been in a regular season. Like if we had to play this week, our last 3 weeks would have been a bit different. But he'll be ready to go for the first game back. It's not fun. And you're at 8 minutes and you look at your watch and you're like, I've got to go here. You go down, then you look back at your watch 20 seconds later and you've gotten slower. Yeah. Your pace is slower.
Yeah. Like 40 seconds, this 200, you get to the 200 and you've done it in 43.
Yeah.
We stayed footy fit. Like I said to Koff, we did a couple of time trials on Saturday and he was like, I thought I was fitter than that. I'm like, yeah, but it's not like the off season where you actually get running fit. Yeah. These sessions have predominantly been skills and all that, so it's getting ready to play, not getting ready to do a PB and time trial. You've just had to sort of adapt and do as best you can without, like with some parameters, so it's been solid. It's been very solid. And training one-on-one, it's not like training where you get to stand on the back of the cone before you go again. Honestly, you're going, sprinting, kicking, catching, turn, kick. It's tough.
Hilly, good to have you on time, Hilly. Excellent. The big challenge is it's just been fairly disjointed. Some of the things that we could do in a day, it takes us 3-4 days because of where people are, trying to get them online, not knowing if they've done the work or when they do it. Some players would rather do it in the morning, midday, afternoon. It's their preference now, and we're sort of leaving it up to them. They're all doing it different. So Rowan's at Portland, you got Dougal up at the farm, Benny Patton's at his family farm, Dalton Langland's gone back up to the border as well. Just an example, those two boys have tried to catch up, and they drive an hour and 15 minutes, on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday to train with each other so they can do some quality skills and get some proper training in. So that's been the hardest challenge. You're trying to get a team to unite, and everyone's just dispersed and gone into their own space, but it's a challenging time for a lot of people.
The timing of this right on the start of the season, when you're not playing games, that smashes your footy club. And we've got to find a way through that. And ultimately, this does become a battle for survival. It becomes a battle for how we keep the doors open to this place. And because this place has been going for 147 years, it means so much to so many. If I've got one job right now, it's that this footy club comes out the other side of this, not just alive, but competitive for years to come.
Go! I win. It's hard, but you get to spend so much more time with the kids. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was in terms of just being around them all day, because we're at the club and then we get home and it's pretty much dinner time and everyone's getting the day wound down. But I think just keeping them busy sort of keeps your mind off it, because you just got to distract them. They got to do their schoolwork and muck around outside, so we've just been filling in the day. So when the weather's good, it's nice, but when it's a bit cold and windy, the kids are inside, and that's when it's a bit testy on everyone. Everyone's stepping on each other's toes and can get pretty grumpy, but so we're making the most of when the sun's out. Red card, Henry. You can't do that. Streaker. The boys are in grade 2 and prep, so a lot of their stuff is little computer games and math games. It's more the handwriting that's pretty frustrating and pretty hard to tell them where to put their full stops and sounding out words. But we've just been doing a lot of PE and a lot of recess. I think they prefer that a bit like me when I was at school.
Because of where we are and what we're doing, I think it's really important for people to have a laugh. So I'll try and make it light through the meeting or the phone call and that, so there is a bit of a giggle and a laugh, because it can become hard work at times. You don't get out for 3-4 days, and my wife will say, I'm just going down the street to get something. I'll say, no, it's my turn. I'm going down just to get the milk or whatever it is, just to feel like I'm getting out of the house, because we're all different personalities. Some people would maybe thrive in these scenarios. Me personally, this is a challenge for me. It is good to be around the family. I'm not disputing that, but I do feel like I'm caged a bit.
The drop in infection rates has footy fans hoping the AFL season could return sooner than first thought.
The Chief Health Officer was more optimistic today. He says that the AFL clubs could return to training as soon as next week.
St Kilda has recalled its players back to Victoria, ready to restart its tilt at a second premiership.
Started with a 5-minute jog, warm the legs up and that, and then did a bit of agility work. And then we've done a couple 100-metre strides, probably 6 of, and then Gears has made up some games, some kicking games, and cheated for a few of them. Last kick of the day. Now we've got 4 400s, so a bit of tempo running, and then we'll finish with some 3-minute efforts, which I'm not really looking forward to.
First couple of weeks, I don't think it was too bad, because you wanted to keep fit, you wanted to do all those sort of things, you had your program, but then it was probably after that first 2 weeks, when there was still no answers of how long it was actually going to be, your motivation would sort of waver a bit through those weeks. I think now that we're sort of coming out the other end, it's not that fake sort of motivation anymore, it's actually real, so it's really natural and everyone's really excited.
I think the appreciation of football will benefit from this. our fans who have pledged their loyalty and always have and continue to do so are the lifeblood of the Saints. So we look forward to being able to embrace them back at matches and back at RSCA Park, no doubt. And it'd be great to be able to shake people's hands again and great to be able to have a beer next to someone rather than staring at your face on the camera. I was involved in a conversation a few weeks back where we were, rather than being asked, what's gone wrong in all this, been asked to sort of list a few things that you would like to keep going that have occurred in your life. There's a lot of good things that are occurring out there, and it'd be good to keep a fair few of them going when we all get back.
Today, I want to announce that our AFL competition is returning. Today is a significant step in getting footy back for everyone. Our fans, our clubs, players, coaches, officials and staff, and all who love the game.
Tomorrow, I want to hug you all, but I can't. So, let's make sure we get there and do what we have to do. But this will be the first step for us as a group to get back on track and get where we want to get to. So it'll be good to see all your faces tomorrow, and everybody's played a huge part, so thank you. But when we get there, let's get stuck into it and get going.
Oh, Jonesy, watch that shadow. There's something there. Careful, 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 mate.